Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to grow this squash. It's called a chayote squash, and you're simply going to go to the store, the grocery store. They come in different varieties. They have a white one, a light green one, a very small light green one, a very large dark green one. I got the large white ones, and you simply keep it in the bag that you put it in at the produce, and you spritz some water in there, and you close the bag. You want it to be a little bit moist and humid in there, so put it in a warm place with a little bit of light and just leave it there for about 2 to 3 days. Do check it after 2 days because it will start to sprout like this, okay? And I decided to give it one more day because I wanted the roots to get a bit bigger than this. So I spritzed inside of the bag one more time to give it some moisture and left it for one more day. And the roots did get bigger. You could see some of the water droplets on the inside of the bag. And the roots did get bigger. So at this point, it's time to plant this. Okay. Now, there are some things that come along with growing this, especially indoors. Outdoors, not so much of an issue. But because I'm in a colder climate, I'm in zone 6A, 6B, I need to start these guys indoors, okay? And by the way, they do require a very large trellis to climb on because they are very massive plants. They climb and create a huge canopy and can quickly overtake a space. So yeah, last year I did 3 of them and they were too much for my trellis and it almost broke down. So this year I'm only doing 1, okay? We're gonna keep it nice and cute and modest, okay, with the chayote this year. So I'm just going to add some soil in this container. I get these containers from the Dollar General store. They come 2 for $1. And I'm going to put this like this. So kind of getting the roots in the soil and whatever green part is growing, have that, face upwards if possible. Okay. If it's not facing upwards, that's fine. Just don't push it hard down into the soil where that green part will break. Okay, if the soil covers it, that's fine. That's completely okay. It will find its way out of the soil, I promise you. Okay, so once I have it in the soil, I add a little bit of soil on top to cover the roots, and then I add some water in to kind of help make that soil wiggle down and get into all the little nooks and crannies of the soil, and then just add a little bit more water because now that it's developed roots, it's going to start looking for nutrients in soil. So that's why it's in this little container, okay? And make sure your container has drainage holes. Please do not plant anything in a container without drainage holes unless you know for a fact that you're not going to overwater that plant, okay? All right, so here's my trick to keep the fungus gnats away, okay? This is all-purpose sand, all right? I put the brand of the sand that I use in the community section of this channel. So if you want, you could go to that section. You'll see a picture of it. I get it from Lowe's. It's like $5 or $6 for like a 50-pound bag. And it lasts me pretty much the entire seed starting season. My seed starting season starts at the end of December or the beginning of January till let's say the beginning of May. So that's me constantly starting seeds and needing the sand to top off my plants, okay? So I put a good layer on there. I want to say I did about maybe a 1/2 inch to a 1/4 inch thick of a layer on there. And I also spritz it just a bit, just to kind of get some of the sand off of the little green bit because I wanted it to get some light, okay? So once it sprouts, you want to put this in an area where it will get proper lighting. So I put it on the shelf with my seedlings that get about 12 to 14 hours of light a day. I put my lights on in the morning and I take them off at night. And that's only for seedlings that have already passed the stage of infancy, basically. Once they start developing their true leaves and they've developed large enough true leaves, I will leave the lights only on for 12 to 14 hours. In the beginning stages, I will leave the lights on for about 24 hours, at least for about a week. Okay, so anyway, Now it's on the shelf with the other seedlings doing its thing. And as you guys could see, it slowly starts to grow, but then it takes off. Once the chayote roots start to take hold of the soil and getting whatever nutrients it can get from there, which I'm giving it water soluble nutrients while I'm watering it, it's going to start to grow and get larger. I do eventually plan on making a tiny trellis for this to climb on because it's going to be a while before it moves out. You may or may not have a chayote that might start rotting. Okay, and sometimes you'll be able to take the chayote off of the plant, but it's not ready yet. So what I do is I just kind of hold it, give it a little jiggle to see if I can move it, and it's still holding on because the actual seed is inside of the squash. You can actually open the squash and take the seed out, but it's a very delicate process, and I've done it before. It does work, but sometimes you can accidentally break the seed. So it's just best to use the whole squash to grow it, okay? But I have done it. It has been successful, but then, you know, sometimes you don't know and you break the seed because they're very, very delicate. So as the chayote is growing, it's pushing the sand away, making small little gaps where, you know, fungus gnats can get into and create the little nasty larva army of nasty fungus gnat babies. I hate fungus gnats. Oh my gosh, you guys. And if you notice, there is not one single yellow sticky trap in my seed starting area. This is the first year I have not purchased them, and I've been pretty much about, I want to say 95% fungus gnat free using my sand. First things first, I make sure the soil I'm using doesn't have fungus gnat larvae in it. And if it does, I treat the soil doing a flush of either a neem mixture or hydrogen peroxide. I'm sorry if my voiceover sounds a little like echoey. I'm in my bathroom trying to do a voiceover in some peace and quiet because my 3-year-old is having a whole thing downstairs. She keeps howling at the moon and making dinosaur noises. But anyway, as you guys could see, the chayote is growing day by day. It's getting bigger. Every day I look at it, it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So if it does outgrow this little pot, I will put it in a bigger pot, but I hope it stays in here until I'm ready to put it out. As for this rot spot, it's pretty gross looking. What I do with this, because this is basically fungus gnat larva heaven, I spray it with some hydrogen peroxide just in case a fungus gnat found its way and laid its little gross eggs on there. So whatever may be living on there, it's pretty much gone. All right, but yeah, once this baby grows up and is starting to vine and the weather, you know, changes and it starts to get warm, I will harden it off and put it in the garden. It will actually be in the garden bed with the elephant garlic and some different varieties that I got from a garden friend. If you guys want to see an update on this chayote squash in a couple of weeks, please thumbs up this video, comment down below and let me know. But make sure you thumbs up the videos. Let me know if you like these kinds of videos, and let me know what else you want to see as far as garden, food growing, etc. All right, see you guys soon in another video. Bye guys.